In the bustling streets of Paris, a young woman named Amara ran her quaint little café, La Belle Sava. Amara, 26, had a passion for food that was rivaled only by her dream of crafting recipes that told stories. Her café, with its pastel walls and the aroma of fresh croissants, was a haven for locals and tourists alike. But her dedication to her craft left little time for love, a fact she had made peace with, until Lucas walked into her life. Lucas, 28, was an aspiring chef from Italy, visiting Paris to refine his culinary skills. With his tousled dark hair and a charming smile that could melt the iciest of hearts, he was a force of nature. He stumbled upon Amara's cafe one rainy afternoon, seeking shelter and a hot meal. As Lucas stepped inside, shaking raindrops off his leather jacket, he caught Amara's eye. Her auburn hair was tied into a messy bun, and flour dusted her cheeks as she worked behind the counter. Their gazes locked for a moment, a spark igniting between them. "Bonjour," Lucas said, his accent heavy with Italian warmth. "I hear this place serves the best hot chocolate in Paris." Amara smiled, her heart fluttering. "Well, you've heard right. Take a seat, and I'll bring it over." As Lucas sipped the hot chocolate, his eyes widened. "This is incredible," he said, savoring the drink. "You've got a gift." Amara chuckled. "Flattery will get you a free croissant. Care to try one?" From that moment, Lucas became a regular. Each visit turned into hours-long conversations about recipes, favorite dishes, and their shared love for cooking. They began collaborating in the cafe's tiny kitchen, experimenting with flavors and pushing each other's creativity. One evening, after the cafe had closed, Lucas surprised Amara with a dish he'd created just for her, risotto infused with lavender, her favorite scent. "I call it risotto d'amore," Lucas said, setting the plate before her. Amara took a bite and closed her eyes, the flavors dancing on her tongue. "Lucas, this is perfection. You inspire me," he said softly, his hand brushing hers. "I've never met anyone like you, Amara." As the weeks turned into months, their bond deepened. Lucas introduced Amara to Italian cuisine, taking her on a whirlwind tour of Paris's hidden food gems. They shared stolen kisses under the Eiffel Tower and spent nights walking along the Seine, dreaming about the restaurant they would open together someday. One rainy evening, reminiscent of their first meeting, Lucas took Amara back to the cafe. The tables were lit with candles and soft jazz played in the background. "Amara," Lucas began, his voice trembling with emotion, "you've shown me the kind of love I thought existed only in stories. Will you let me be your partner in life, not just in the kitchen?" Tears filled Amara's eyes as she nodded. "Yes, Lucas. 1,000 times yes." Their wedding was a celebration of love and food, with dishes they had created together. And true to their dream, they opened a restaurant, L'Amour et Sava, where every dish told their love story. Years later, as they worked side by side, their love only grew stronger, proving that the best recipes in life are made with equal parts passion, trust, and a dash of serendipity. And that's where we'll take a quick break. Before we continue, if you haven't already, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the bell icon to stay updated with our latest content. Also, let us know in the comments below what you think. Your feedback really helps us. Now, let's dive back in. Amara had never thought she would fall in love, let alone with someone like Lucas. Their connection was undeniable from the start, and their shared passion for food only deepened their bond. But it wasn't just their time in the kitchen that brought them closer. It was the tender, unspoken moments that made their love story so enchanting. One late evening, after a busy day at the cafe, Lucas stayed behind to help Amara clean up. As they stood shoulder to shoulder, scrubbing dishes and laughing over silly kitchen mishaps, Lucas playfully splashed water at her. "Lucas," Amara squealed, grabbing the faucet hose to retaliate. Soon, they were both soaked, their laughter echoing through the empty cafe. Lucas leaned against the counter, his eyes locked on hers. "You're beautiful when you laugh," he said softly. Amara's cheeks flushed, and she tried to brush off the compliment. "You're just saying that because I make the best croissants in Paris." "No," Lucas said, stepping closer. "I'm saying it because it's true." Before she could respond, he gently cupped her face, his thumb brushing away a drop of water on her cheek. Their eyes met, and in that moment, the world seemed to fade away. Lucas leaned in, and their lips met in a slow, tender kiss that left Amara breathless. The kiss wasn't just an expression of attraction, it was a promise. Their romance continued to bloom, each moment more magical than the last. One weekend, Lucas surprised Amara with a picnic on the banks of the Seine. He had packed a basket filled with her favorite treats: freshly baked baguettes, creamy brie, ripe strawberries, and a bottle of sparkling wine. As they sat on the blanket, watching the sunset, Lucas fed her a strawberry, his fingers lingering on her lips. "Do you know how much you mean to me, Amara?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. She looked into his eyes, her heart swelling with emotion. "I think I do, but you can always remind me." Lucas smiled, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "You've changed my life. You've shown me what it means to love, to truly care for someone. I don't ever want to imagine a day without you." Amara felt tears prick her eyes as she leaned into him. "Lucas, I feel the same. I've never felt so alive, so understood." They shared a passionate kiss as the sun dipped below the horizon, the city lights twinkling around them. Another night, after an impromptu cooking session in Amara's apartment, Lucas suggested a dance. "There's no music," Amara said, laughing as Lucas extended his hand. "Who needs music?" he replied with a wink. He pulled her into his arms, and they swayed together in the middle of her tiny kitchen. Lucas hummed a soft tune as they moved, his arms holding her close. "You make me feel like I'm in a dream," Amara murmured, resting her head on his chest. "And you've made me believe in love," Lucas replied, tilting her chin up to meet his gaze. He kissed her, slow and deep, his lips conveying everything words could not. Their most intimate moment came on a chilly winter evening. They had spent the day at a bustling market, picking out fresh ingredients for a new dish they were creating together. Back at Lucas's place, the two worked side by side in the kitchen, the warmth of the oven and their shared laughter filling the room. As they plated the final dish, Lucas turned to Amara, his expression serious. "Close your eyes," he said. She complied, a smile tugging at her lips. She felt something cool against her wrist and opened her eyes to see Lucas tying a delicate bracelet around it. "It's a little something to remind you of me," he said, his voice soft. Amara touched the bracelet, her heart full. "You didn't have to do this." "I wanted to," Lucas replied, "because every moment with you feels like a gift. And I want you to know that I'm all in. My heart, my soul, everything." Amara kissed him then, pouring every ounce of her love into that kiss. That night, as they lay together on the couch, wrapped in a blanket, Amara whispered, "Lucas, I've never loved anyone the way I love you." He pulled her closer, his lips brushing her forehead. "And I've never been happier in my life."